Hello and welcome to the Edinburgh Monarchs Academy preview show as we look ahead to two big meetings this weekend. It's a bumper-packed show as we look ahead to both the Academy match on Friday night against the Oxford Chargers, this Friday at 7:30, and also the British Youth Championship, which we've got round 3 of that, and the Women's Open Championship round 1 on Saturday afternoon. I'll be joined very shortly by Mickie Simpson. So get your messages on, get on YouTube or get on Facebook, get your messages and your questions in for Mickie, and we'll get them in front of him. Just before we bring Mickie on, we'll also bring the breaking news we've had this afternoon. In the championship team, the Edinburgh Stellar Monarchs, they've moved to sign Bastian Bork and Dale Wood, replacing Jacob Hook and Kyle Bickley. Team's not been doing great, so I'm guessing changes were kind of not a surprise. Not everybody would pick the same changes, but that's the way the team have gone. And for Jacob and Kyle, we can only wish them all the best. And they continue in the academy team. We look forward and hope they can pick up and build some confidence there and move forward. Last thing I'm going to say, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel to be notified of any future live streams. Anyway, you've heard enough from me. Let's bring on the main man for tonight. Edinburgh Monarchs Academy number 2, Mickie Simpson. Hi, Mickie. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Wonderful. Yes, all good. Looking forward to Friday night.
Yeah, it's another time on the Edinburgh track, which is awesome. It's something that I'm really looking forward to. Struggling for track time at the minute, so it's definitely good to have another meeting in, and we had this meeting pulled forward as well just to get rid of that sort of break in meetings. So it is really good to get back on the track.
Yeah, as you say, it's a rearranged meeting for this Friday, so it's great to fill those gaps. It's difficult for you guys when there are gaps there, but is there anywhere local you get any track time at, or?
No, it's a bit tricky. I mean, Scunthorpe's sort of a big one for me, which I do try to get to most of their meetings. As it happens, I'm not doing quite so much now there, but it's definitely important to keep on the track. So when I am available to do something, it is good to go do it. I was fortunate, sort of to be invited to the under-21s last Sunday. It was sort of another meeting more than anything, another bit of time on the track, another 5 races, which was all I sort of went for as such. I didn't go into the meeting expecting to win it or score any points as such. It was just sort of good to go, get some laps under my belt, and keep on the bike. It was very good to be able to do that, ready for Friday.
Yeah, I was going to say that it was good to be there, and you scored in every race, and you picked up a heat one as well. So
yeah,
getting a liking for that new Workington circuit.
Yeah, no, it's tricky as such. I was struggling out the gate all day, really. Even in my heat win, which was probably one of my easy heats of the night, I didn't get out of the gate first. Certainly didn't get the whole shot, so I didn't really make it easy for myself all day. So taking a bit of a learning from there and changing a bit to the clutch setup and everything ready for Friday, and hopefully we can get them changes sorted. But as I say, once again, it was just good to go there and experiment a little bit with clutch setup and changing how far I'm turning in the clutch and everything. And as it happens, it didn't work out, but it's another thing eliminated. So we're now onto changing plates and stuff, and we'll go into Friday with something fresh, and hopefully that'll sort of give me that edge that I need out the gates.
Cool. Well, we'll go and start looking at some of the comments. I've got folks saying, Ryan Muir saying hello, and someone who's probably not too far away saying hi, son, as well. Start with the questions. We've got one from Lynette Linton, which is, what's your goal this season, and who got you into Speedway?
Yeah, so it was my dad that really got me into riding as such. So I started on the grass track side racing when I was 6. And then as growing up on the grass track, grew up with a lot of the younger lads that you're seeing now, the Harry and Sam McGurks, people like that who moved on to the Speedway. And then when I was 10, that's when I got onto the Speedway, sort of through friends doing speedway. It's sort of like I wanted to have my go at it, and you know, as we progressed, we got into the National League, and things have just gone from there, sort of thing. As for goals, I don't particularly set myself any sort of goals or standard going into a season. As you know, in speedway, anything can happen. So we go into each year and just try our best at every meeting. I almost take each meeting as it comes, try my best each ride as it comes, just try my best, try and go in with a fresh head, and see how it goes from there. But it's very easy to set yourself goals and get disappointed if you're not meeting them, and you know, injuries can play into that. And it's good just to take each meeting as it comes, as I said, and you know, don't get too disappointed if you're not doing as you should. You know, you just need to take it as it goes. And
well, talking about pressure, Ryan Anderson saying, "Morning, Mixter. Anything less than a 15-point max, and we'll be having words."
Oh, I'll try my best for you, Ryan. Try my best.
Perhaps something a bit more realistic. Obviously, a new track. Chris Black's saying, "How are you finding it?" And he's saying, from what you've seen, you've been very unlucky not to score more points than you've scored already.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, especially at the number 2 position. Now I'm with Kyle for 3 of my rides, which isn't a good thing in terms of points necessarily. I'm going to really struggle for the whole of this year, I imagine, to beat Kyle. But you know, we keep going, and it's always good to have someone there that can sort of back me up if I do met the gate. You know, I'm very confident riding with Kyle, and you know, I know he's a very good rider and experienced. He was very lucky to get dropped from the championship team, as you know, he is progressing, and he's been a little bit longer than me, so it's definitely hard to be there, and it does look bad when I'm not necessarily scoring the points that I should, but I feel good on the bike. As I say, as you know, we get riding more, hopefully that sort of pushes me along. I'm taking a lot of confidence from Workington. I felt good on the bike there. Probably the best on the bike I've felt all year, although the score maybe doesn't show it. You know, I'm feeling good, and confidence is, you know, half of the battle in the speedway. It's good to go into that, and you know, the track's been pretty awesome for the 2 meetings that we've had there. It's definitely different to what I'm used to at Leicester previously. And I'm not notorious around small tracks for being very good, but it's definitely a massive learning curve for me, and it's definitely the right direction where I wanted to go. You know, signing for a team that has a little track, it's really going to bring me on. Hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be scoring some big points.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that is a big change. We'll be touching that in a minute. One thing I did want to just mention is that there is a slight amendment to the Academy lineup on Friday night with Adam Roynan and of course Alex Spooner switching. Adam's going to be number 3 on Friday night. Guess it'll not make any difference to you, Mickey, and but riding at number 2 is sometimes a challenge, as you said already, but I'm guessing that's why you hear more experience, get more track time, more points. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, the team change doesn't make a lot of difference to me, as you said, but I'm sure Adam he's an awesome rider. You know, we've seen him in his first 2 home meetings and even his away meeting. You know, he's always going, he's always battling, and you know, if he's at the front, he looks smooth, he looks comfy. He's an amazing rider, and to have that sort of experience in the team, you know that wherever he is, he's going to score points, and he's always going to be there to offer you advice. And I remember right from the very first meeting, you know, before I went out for Heat 1, you know, them riders, you know, Adam and Hooky and Kyle, they're always sat there to give you advice and to give you tips and just sort of pick you up even when you're down a bit. If you have a bad ride, you know, they're always there to say, you know, come on lads, let's you know, make a few changes here and there for the advice. And it's absolutely awesome to have them in the team and just sort of bring us along.
Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic to have, as you say, guys like that. And Adam, I think, still unbeaten at Armadale this season. There'll be a challenge on that on Friday. But if you want to see how Adam and Mickey get on, you can get your tickets now from edinburghmonarchs.co.uk. Get yourself to the track. It's 7:30 on Friday night. And of course, as always, if you can't make it trackside, you can watch the live stream. So on the same website, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk EMTV, purchase your live stream, be sat at home with a nice cold beverage or hot beverage if you prefer, and watch the guys in action. As I said, Mickey, I'm unbeaten, but with Oxford in town, it'll be a different challenge, and it'll be interesting to see how we get on with it.
Yeah, no, they're definitely looking like a very strong team this year, and they've got a very good top side. So we know that it's going to be tough for the entire meeting for all of us. But as you say, with Adam unbeaten, there's no doubt that he's going to score big points. There's no doubt that Hookie and Kyle are going to put in their absolute best efforts, and they're going to score some big points as well. And it sort of takes off the pressure for riders like me going into a meeting, knowing that all we've got to do is try our best every race. And, you know, as we try our best every race and the pressure's sort of off our shoulders a little bit, it allows us to ride a bit better, and hopefully we do pick up them points here and there. It's definitely important to sort of support bringing a few points home, even if it's a third. 1 point's better than none. So, you know, we're just trying to finish here for every ride and score some points here and there, not pushing too hard. No falls, hopefully, as we're getting used to the track. And yeah, but they're definitely going to be a tough side to face. But there's no doubt at all that we can get a home win again.
Yeah, as you say, and Oxford have also made a change this week with the Kelsey Dugard became available. He was only an injury replacement for Workington, so Oxford have brought him in at number 7, which will strengthen them up. As of now, we're still not sure who will be at number 6. Luke Killeen is still injured, so it will be a 3-point guest at number 6 for Oxford. But Kelsey Dugard will certainly strengthen them up, Mickey.
Yeah, it is definitely sort of another thing to think about. But then at the same time, you know, we're there to beat everyone that comes to Armadale, and you know, everyone can be beaten. And all we got to do is ride the best that we can in the light. You know, typically I don't really look at the lineup before each meeting or each race. I just go out, try not to look across at anyone, just do my thing on the line, try and get a good start. If we don't get a good start, then we go from there. If we do get a good start, you know, same again. It's all about, you know, just having the confidence going into the meeting. So we can't look at it and think, wow, you know, this is going to be tough. We know it is, but we just got to go in with clear minds. And, you know, as I say, I'm sure we can pull another home win.
Yeah, as you say, no matter who's alongside you, you got to think you're going to win each race. So that's the main thing. Someone that will be alongside you potentially in at least one of the races on Friday will be Jody Scott, Oxford's number 4. And I took the opportunity to speak to Jody on Monday evening to hear his thoughts on Friday's match.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be going to Edinburgh. I haven't been there for 2 years. Last time I was there was the British Youth round of 250. So it's going to be a bit new to me, obviously, because they snagged me on the 500. But I'm up there for pretty much the whole weekend, so I'm really buzzing.
Yeah, good. We're looking forward to that. Oxford have, we're still early days. Only had 3 meetings so far this season, 2 home wins and an away defeat at Bellevue. But it's just the right balance. You'll be hoping to try and kick on and maybe pick up something on Friday night.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, I didn't start off too good on my first home meeting. I was actually quite ill. I scored 3 points, which was not what I wanted. But then I just bounced back, and then we went to Bellevue 2 days after, and then I went and scored 5 points, and then went to Mildenhall 2 days later, and then scored 7 points. And so I was improving every meeting, and we had a meeting not long ago at home at Oxford against Bellevue, and we took the victory with that, and I scored 6 points. So feel like I've brought my confidence all back up from last year, so I hope I keep going.
Yeah, I mean, this is your second season in the National League, and you didn't get a full season last year, but you came and helped Oxford out, got through to the playoffs. But so it was a pretty good start for your first season, and to maintain an average well over 5 points in your first season at that level is great. And you're hoping to kick on this year.
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, didn't do a full season last year, obviously because I wasn't supposed to be on the 500 last year. I was supposed to be on the 250 for the season, but and then done that under-21 semi-final, and then I came with a good result in that. And I just felt like I wanted to do the 500s and felt Oxford was the right place for me to be. And obviously I'm with them for the full season this year, and I'm really buzzing.
Yeah, you'll have been racking up the miles this week. I mean, you've done under 21s last weekend, Birmingham Wednesday, Armadale at the weekend. It's plenty of time in the van, but as you say, you need to get track time.
Yeah, that's it. I haven't had a lot of track time this year. Obviously, loads of practice has been cancelled because due to the weather, but it's going to be a busy one this week. We've got Birmingham Wednesday for the British Youth. Friday, we've got obviously Armadale against Oxford at Edinburgh. Then the next day, I've got British Youth at Armadale. Then got to travel to Berwick straight after that for an Oxford meeting against Berwick. The next day is at Workington British Youth. So it's going to be a very busy one, but I'm loving every minute of it.
Yeah, that'll be tough on man and machine, actually. So, yeah. In terms of Oxford on Friday night, is that a match that the Chargers have targeted? Do you think they're capable of getting some points from?
Yeah, there's no reason why we can't. Obviously, a few of us have been up there. I've only been up there once, but I feel like it's quite a nice track. It looks tight. I mean, I rode there before, but it was quite grippy. But that was on the 250. Now I'm on the 500. So I find it will be a very good track for me to get used to. But hopefully I can get some tips off the boys and they can help me out.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan Jenkins has certainly gone well in the National League there before, so you should be in with a shout, I'd have thought. Yeah,
definitely. I've been watching quite a few streams at Armadale just to see how the track is, and obviously Jordan, he's flying this year. He's doing very well. Obviously, he's in the Premiership with Peterborough, and he's doing well in that. And there's Henry who scored 13+2 the other week. So and there's Ryan as well, he's just a newcomer to Oxford. So hopefully he can get dialed into that track as well. Obviously, he's rode there a few times. I guess so, but
yeah, thanks there to Jody. We'll hear from him later about his thoughts on the British Youth Championship. But it's interesting to hear there that he's been watching videos of you guys racing this season at Armadale for tips against you on Friday. Is that something you do yourself, Mickey?
Yeah, it's not a thing that's unknown in Speedway. Everyone sort of looks at tracks and the lines maybe. It's not something I do regular. A lot of the tracks that we do go to, I've been before. I know what to expect, and I know sort of half a bike setup to go with, which will be a good starting point. As Jody said, it's been 2 years since he's been to the Armadale track. So hopefully we can capitalise on that a little bit to start with. He's going to be good everywhere. Unfortunately, he is a very talented young rider, and he's going to be someone to look out for. So we've just got to make sure we get out the gates in front of him and hopefully give him a bit of a battle.
Yeah, no, that's it. Certainly, it's going to be a tough night for the academy, but with two good solid home wins under our back, we hope to make that 3 on Friday night, and maybe touch wood, you might get some better weather because we had a couple of nasty ones the meetings you've had so far. Yeah,
it's I can't remember which meeting it was. I believe it was the first one, the one against Bellevue. I think it was. It was particularly wet,
that was
but
really off.
There was no doubt that it was going to be on for a start. And we sort of walked the track, and the track staff was absolutely incredible that night to get the meeting on. It meant we didn't waste the journey, and we didn't have to drive all the way back up to Edinburgh again. But no, it was awesome. It was sort of one of my first introductions to some of the track team, and it just showed how great they are, really. Showed how good the club is in general. That they was able to get that meeting on was absolutely incredible. So yeah, we're hoping for a dry one, but we know what the team we're capable of, and I'm sure we'll be able to get things underway.
Cool. We'll just go back to comments. Only a few more comments, actually. We're all very quiet tonight. Gary Dixon's evening all. Chris, again, signed up a new track. You used to. Massive kudos to Mickey and the bravery to take on that challenge. And I don't know what this is. If this is something, tell him thanks for the money on the stream. I don't know if that means anything to you. Doesn't mean anything to me, Mickey.
Maybe been gambling.
No, I have no idea what that is. We do have a question for me, which someone asked about the image behind me. Is that a photo of Andy Halliday behind you on the interview? Stephen Lumsden knows fine well, it won't be Andy Halliday. It's, of course, James McFadden from Scotland's goal in Paris all those years back. We certainly seem to have lost Mickey for now. That's a bit of a shame, unfortunately. We will talk back about tickets again. You know, for your tickets for Friday night, go on EdinburghMonarchs.co.uk, and you can buy your tickets for Friday night to see Mickey and the Academy boys race against the Oxford Chargers, 7:30 Friday night, and also for Saturday's match. We're going on to that in a minute. If you can't make either match, both are being live streamed. Again, EdinburghMonarchs.co.uk/EMTV. So yeah, now we seem to have lost Mickey. That's unfortunate. Yeah, he'll be racing in that match on Friday night. The Monarchs Academy against Oxford Chargers. I don't know if that's something happened to the internet there, but yeah, no, thank you very much to Mickey for joining us. If he is listening, if he jumps back on, we'll say goodbye properly. But we will move on to the second half of the meeting because we've still got loads going on, which is Saturday afternoon. We've got the British Youth Championship. It's round 3. I think it's originally round 4, but the Scunthorpe round was rained off, so that's been rearranged later in the year. The British Youth Championship, 1:30 on Saturday at Armadale, and it includes the Women's Open Championship for the first time ever. That's round 1 of that Women's Open Championship. We were going to get Neil Vatcher on the stream tonight, but there's actually on Wednesday night at Birmingham, whilst we're live just now, there's round 2 of the Youth Championships going on at Birmingham. So Neil is quite busy with that at the moment. So obviously we'll see how that results go from there. Or before we jump to Neil's interview, I think Mickey's back. Mickey, you back?
Here we are. Decided to come back, eh?
I don't know. Did your dad pull the internet there after asking the question?
I don't think he liked my answer very well. He thought it was a bit too far and pulled the internet. No, it's yeah. Now I'm back. Here we are.
No, it's all good. No problem at all there. And as I said before we started, there's always something happens. We were kind of just starting to wind up the preview for the Academy match, just as we said. That's Friday night, 7:30. Have you got any more messages for the supporters or anybody you want to speak to before we head off?
No, nothing in particular. Obviously, we hope to see as many of you there as we can. It's absolutely awesome when we have a crowd there that's cheering us on, and it's good to see a good bit of support. And it was my first time after the last meeting where I got in the bar. We get to see sort of the fans a little bit more and talk to some people. It's absolutely awesome to interact with everyone. So as many of you can make it as possible, it'll be awesome to see you all there.
Great. And thank you very much for joining us and for jumping back on again. Just as I say, when I'm going on to go the Youth Championship now, have you got any good memories from your experience in the British Youth Championship?
There's nothing really that jumps out in particular. Probably the best moment in the British Championship was I got to ride Edinburgh for the first time. It's probably the best. That's probably the best moment from it all. But no, there's nothing in particular. Unfortunately, I never won a round. I did stand on the podium a couple of times, but it never really came into place for me.
I guess it was still vital to your progress.
Yeah,
and get you to where you are.
Yeah. Once again, as I was saying earlier, it was just another opportunity for track time, which is what was always the aim. Still is the aim. The more track time that we get, the more time we get on the bike, the more confidence we take into each meeting, and more chances to learn. So it was definitely a chance for me to learn. Definitely a chance for everyone to learn. It'll be awesome. I will be there Saturday to watch some of the youngsters, and it's awesome to see them coming along. And in a few years, you never know, a lot of them could be riding for Edinburgh one day.
Well, Chris says he'll see you in the bar on Friday night, that's for sure. And just a question back for Stevie Lumsden again. Who's that on the picture on your wall behind you?
That's oh, hang on, where are we?
They're
the most beautiful men I know. It's me. Of course. Yeah, back in the 125 days on the canvas, and then that's something I did for sponsors. It was a couple of years back now, I think, but no, it's awesome. Always going to be in the house. So.
Cool, son. I didn't recognise you from the back there, Mickey. That's well. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Cool, that's magic, Mickey. As I say, thank you very much for joining up and answering the guys' questions tonight, and look forward to seeing you Saturday, and hope you go well. Friday night for yourself.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll get there Friday first for Saturday. Yeah. But no, yeah, thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Excellent. Cheers, Mickey. All the best. See you Friday.
See you later.
Well, that was really good of Mickey to jump back in again. Put me off my stride there when I was going into my youth championship chat, but we can manage that. We can start again there. Just so as I said already, British Youth Championship Saturday afternoon, round 3, and the Women's Open Championship round 1 starting at 1:30 on Saturday afternoon at Armadale. Hopefully everybody will get there and cheer the young team along. We were going to have Neil Vatcher on, but he's at Birmingham tonight. It's round 2 currently ongoing. I'm sure I don't think the support 125 support class is running tonight, so we won't have the young Edinburgh riders there, but certainly lots of racing going on and keeping Neil Vatcher very, very busy. But as I said, I didn't get him on the show, but we were able to speak to him. So I've got a few clips from Neil tonight, and we first of all asked him about how he was looking forward to coming back to him. Here's Neil Vatcher.
Yeah, hi Dave. Yeah, thanks for having us on. Always a pleasure to try and do these type of things and sell the meetings to the guys out there. And it's a real busy week coming up. We've been sort of quite busy over the last couple of weeks anyway, since the first round at Glasgow, probably about 3 weeks ago now, and we had a round for the 125s at Bellevue on the Friday before that as well. And this week in particular, as you quite rightly say, was at Workington Sunday for the under-21 qualifier, which went really well. My first visit to Workington, and I was very impressed with their venue and circuit. Yeah. And then we're at Birmingham tomorrow, being Wednesday. And then, obviously in Scotland and back to working, Edinburgh Saturday, of course, and then back to Workington Sunday. So, hectic few days, but all good fun. And, this is what we do it for. We like to be busy and get the kids on track as much as we can. And, hopefully progress. And we got a good track record of, good riders coming through this youth system. And, we've got probably about 40 kids signed up for this year. And, hopefully, some of these guys are going to, reach the peaks that the Tom Brennans and the Leon Flints have, done already. So
it's fantastic to see so many lined up. I think there's currently 39 on the list for Saturday, and it's a huge lineup, huge amount of racing. So it'll be brilliant for everybody to come and see it. But I guess it's, as you say, it's all about getting these youngsters time on the track and experience lots of different tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. To be honest, like we've only been sort of coming to Glasgow and Edinburgh pretty much just before COVID. I think we actually came to Edinburgh like the first year in 2020, and initially I was always a bit cautious, wondering whether the mums and dads would travel that far. But in fairness to the commitment to the riders and the parents and their families, for 39 riders to come to Edinburgh Saturday and over the weekend is absolutely fantastic. And it's all credit to those people that put the show on. Like it's easy for me to manage it really. Obviously a fair bit of organising, don't get me wrong, but it's the commitment to the riders and their families that is the credit should go to, that we have such a fantastic attendance travelling to Scotland over the weekend, and also obviously to the Edinburgh promotion for, as I say, inviting us up for what is our 4th year now. And like personally, I think the Armadale track is absolutely fantastic size track for these kids to learn on. It's obviously great for the 125 riders, but also for the other two classes as well, the 250s and 500s. everyone knows that it's a technical track. You got to use your head as well as the throttle as well, of course. And but it's a place that I really enjoy coming to, and I think it's great for the kids to learn on as well. So again, as I say, for the 4th year running, really looking forward to Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting that true experience for the Speedway future. If they are all the miles they've got to build up and all the different type of tracks from, I mean, Workington on Sunday will be completely different to Armadale on Saturday. That's for sure for the lads.
Yeah, absolutely. But going back to Armadale, like the Campbell family do a fantastic job in preparing the track. The track's always good. Even though it's tight and technical, as we well know, the racing's always good there. And as I say, to give these kids the opportunity to ride, championship venues of a track that they've got to think about as well, which is a good education for them, going forward. And it's all a part of their learning curve and, something that they can all take going forward.
It's brilliant. I was out at the one of the regular Saturday sessions a few weeks ago, and everybody's having a great time. They're all enjoying themselves. There was guys there from Rocco and Lewis who've been doing it for a couple of years now, down to guys turning up for their first time. So that's it's all about trying to get some futures and some guys that eventually racing in the academy team for Edinburgh or for the Monarchs themselves, and that's what everybody wants to see. And from your perspective, then going on at the under 21 level, Grand Prix level, and that's be fantastic. Hopefully, to look back in 10 years' time and some of that crop of youngsters that you coach and get to that level.
Absolutely, like it's a question that I get asked, quite regular about, just riders starting out having nowhere to go, and there's probably only a number of tracks that riders can go, but particularly in Scotland as well, for these young kids to be able to come to Armadale and learn on that centre green initially, on that centre green training track is absolutely fantastic. And I actually live in Southampton, so in the south of England, but if I was a bit further north, it's certainly a venue that I would visit, on more than one occasion a year. But, the one time that I do come to Edinburgh, I thoroughly enjoy it, always look forward to it. And I'm sure Saturday is going to be a special occasion again.
Yeah, as Neil said, a big occasion on Saturday. We've got 44 races with 39 riders lined up. The biggest match biggest meeting we've ever had at Armadale is going to be super exciting. We had some cracking races in the past. We've got some local interest from the Monarchs Academy guys as well. And looking at a couple of the lineup, there's 5 classes there on Saturday, starting on the 500cc class. We've got 6 riders there. The first round so far, there was only 2 riders there, so this is really that 500cc class from Birmingham, and on Wednesday and on Friday we'll get going. But some good riders there, and as we saw, Jody Scott, who's going to be at Armadale Friday night, so you'll get a little bit of head start on the guys potentially. So after talking to Neil about that, I then went on to ask him if there's anyone in particular in the meeting that he'd be seeing, especially at that 500cc level. And once we hear from Neil's opinion on we'll also hear from Jody Scott and his thoughts on Saturday's youth match.
Sonny's Spring in the 500cc. He's only 14 years old, so he's not eligible for the National League yet. So that's probably someone that people are not familiar with. I think will be impressing everyone in the 500 class. Ashton Vale will be moving up from the 250 class, doing his first round with the 500s this weekend. So again, someone to look out for. We've already mentioned Jody Scott, that's riding for Oxford in the National League. So I'm sure Jody will be there wanting to win it on Saturday. Because of the sort of age limit, this is Jody's last year competing in this competition, and I know Jody's keen to win the British title, and the only way to win it is to do the very best in every round. So I know Jody's going to be sort of wanting to impress at the weekend for sure.
you get your first laps on a 500cc at Armadale on Friday, then in it with for the youth championship on Saturday afternoon. You'll hope that'll give you a nice advantage going into that meeting.
Yeah, it will definitely. It's kind of it's a great feeling that Armadale's there. I'm there twice, so I don't have to come back down to Norfolk and then travel back up there for another meeting. But that's very good for me. Obviously, I've got to ride Armadale for Oxford on Friday and then British Youth the next day, so I can get the feeling of the track and for anyone else, because I'm the only charger, and there's no one in Armadale who's in the British Youth. So hopefully I can get some track time from that, and hopefully win the British Youth.
Yeah, and last year you were in that round of the youth championship as well, and you weren't too far off it. But most of the guys above you were have probably moved on or too old now, and so maybe a chance this year of winning that youth title.
Yeah, it was a shame last year because I got second in the first round, and then a few weeks later I broke my wrist, so I missed 3 rounds of the British Youth. Obviously, I missed in Edinburgh, British Youth, Glasgow, and another round. I don't know what it is, but Bellevue actually. And then, but I was really gutted, and then because I got 2 more wins when I came back from the wrist injury, I got 2 British Youth wins, and then I got a 3rd. And so I got a podium every time I compete in the British Youth. But I have a feeling this year that I can bring the title home.
You hope so. I think it's your last year at that level as well.
Yeah, it is. I'm now 16, and that's the only age you can be in it. That's the limit you can be up to. But this is my last chance to win the British Youth. But obviously, I've got the under-19s and the under-21s all for the next 4 years. So yes, I've got a lot of time.
Of course, last Sunday you were just 1 point off getting a runoff for qualifying for that British under-21 final. That's I'm guessing you'll at least travel as track reserve and might still get in the lineup. So that was a good achievement for you. Yeah,
it was. I was quite a bit disappointed that I didn't get the top 6, but now I'm first reserve for the final. But never know what can happen. I could get put in the meeting again like I did last year, because last year I got first reserve, and then I got put in the meeting. So hopefully I could get a ride, and hopefully I could get put in the meeting, because that would very please me, and I'll just be really excited. But yeah, it was a shame I missed out on 1 point. I got the win in my last ride, but I couldn't do anything after my 4th ride, because after that there's no way. I got the win, so that's the amount of points I could get. So I was a bit disappointed, but I was really pleased with 10 points.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So I wish you all the best with all that for the season, and I hope you have a good night on Friday as well. Although maybe not enough to get Oxford a point or 2, but we look forward to seeing. We get to see you on track.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Jody, they're pretty confident about his weekend and optimistic about that. Back to the comments very briefly. Chris Black was the one to watch. I think there's a football match on tonight. Yeah, you can watch this again. This will be available on YouTube after the show is done. It's always available. You can watch all the previous preview shows on Friday Focuses anytime you like. And Ryan Muir as well. We have another preview show with Kieran Lyden. Yeah, that's definitely in the pipeline. I'm not spoken to Kieran yet, but we'll get him lined up for one of his academy matches soon. We'll look forward to that. Back to the I was going to say the youth championship, but a new thing for this year is it's the first ever British Speedway Women's Open Championship on Saturday with 4 girls coming up to Scotland. Well, 2 of them are in Scotland already to compete in that first ever Open Championship. Notice it is an Open Championship, so we do have Selina Liebman coming over from Germany to take on the best of the British girls there, and it'll be an interesting event, the first of what could be a major event in the future, and we wish good luck to all 4 of them for Saturday, but especially Morgan Leonard, who races second halves at Armadale, and we'll hoping that knowing that tight track, it'll be better for her to go against Selina, who's more used to the wide tracks. We will. And of course, I did ask did ask Neil also about the Women's Open, and let's hear his thoughts now.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting too. You know, something that that was sort of like spoken to me probably the middle of last year from the BSPL, and something that we felt that we had to sort of try and introduce in these times. You know, sort of small numbers at this stage. Like we've just got 4 riders competing in the Women's Championship, but you know, again for sort of various reasons, pretty exciting for ladies coming along. We've got Morgan Leonard and Wendy McCallan that are, I believe, local to Edinburgh, so a bit of local interest, and then probably the top British rider, or the top British female rider at this stage will be Katie Gordon. To be fair to Katie, she's participating in, and we've got the German rider Selina Liedermann coming over from Germany, who actually competed in the SGP 2 series last year. So for different reasons, for all 4 ladies, excited to see that as well. Part of this championship. We're actually doing that over 3 rounds, which will be Edinburgh Saturday, Workington Sunday, and then Redcar in a 2 weeks' time. So, an added bonus for everyone. As you quite rightly said, we've got a fantastic turnout of the youth riders, but with the ladies on top, that's going to make it even more special. So, and new to me as well. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't really know what to expect, from a couple of the girls, but as I say, all exciting, all new, and adds to the program. So, something to come and watch for sure.
Yeah, you've got to start somewhere, and who knows if it kicks on, we could have an event of its own right in the future. But yeah, you've got to get started somewhere. And I was in Prague last year when Selina was in SGP2, and she certainly looked competitive that day. So she'll be good to watch on Saturday, and hopefully the British girls will be able to compete with her.
Yeah, absolutely. Like in fairness, if I'm being honest, I don't think Selina's going to have much competition. However, it's up to the other girls, to see what's achievable and what to aim to. If Selina, again, give Selina the sort of credit of the dedication, to coming to the UK to ride in these events, which is absolutely fantastic. But again, it gives the other girls something to aim for and to see what's achievable. Putting the right dedication and the work. Anything's possible, and I think it will be someone for the girls to look up to. As I say, we have to wait and see. Like, I don't really know what to expect myself, to be truthful, from the girls, but I know, like I've seen Selina race in Europe before, but I've been in contact with her. Like I did only say to her last week that I think Edinburgh is going to be a learning curve for her as well. The big European circuits that she's normally used to is obviously a bit different from Edinburgh. But again, credit to Selina for wanting to come and, compete, and in fairness to her, to showcase herself as well. And I know that ultimately Selina's aim is to showcase herself to the British promoters, and she would love to ride in Britain herself full time. So, as well as obviously wanting to win the Women's Open Championship, she's putting herself in the shop window as well. So, I'm sure that she'll be out to impress.
Yeah, should be good. And as I say, got to start somewhere, so I look forward to it. I know Morgan was interested to see how Selina gets on. It's an interesting challenge ahead.
Yeah, definitely. And to be honest, like, it isn't any different than any other riders. Riding against better riders. Like I say all the time, the best way to improve is to ride against better riders, because that sort of drags you on. So this is no different, and I'm sure that Katie, Wendy, and Morgan will be, take massive steps forward after this weekend in at Redcar on the 17th of June, and probably look back, and it'd be a massive learning curve for them as well.
Yeah, Neil there reflecting on the British Women's Open Championship that takes place on Saturday, the first ever. So if you want to be there to see that event, you can get your tickets from edinburghmonarchs.co.uk now. That for Friday as well, and it will be live streamed on the internet. So edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/EMTV for your live stream to watch the first ever British Women's Open Championship first round of 3 as the girls battle to see who'll be the champion there. So good luck to all 4 women competing on Saturday. Moving on, we've got a class on Saturday, the 125cc support class that will have a lot of Edinburgh interest with actually the 4 Monarchs 125 guys that we've seen setting ass for the West Lothian Wildcats and Armadale Angels. We've got Rocco Webb, Lewis Hague, Liam Morris, and Lee Harrison. Apologies, Lee. Nearly forgot your name there. Competing in a 15-man event. It's a very large field for the support class, and we're looking to see the guys kick on. We know that Rocco's actually won both first and second round of the support class with Liam Morris on the podium of both events at Bellevue and at Glasgow. And at Bellevue, we had a 1-2-3 with Lewis Hague filling the middle spot. So be really excited to see how the guys get on their own track and see if they can keep up that good record they've set. And I went out Saturday afternoon a couple of weeks ago to watch them in action, and 2 of the guys were there that day, Rocco and Lewis, and I spoke to them again, and after we hear from them, we'll hear the last thing from Neil about that class, and let's hear from those guys now. Okay, we're here with Lewis Hague, one of the thriving Monarchs Academy riders. Already had a couple of British Youth Championship matches, and been watching them this afternoon. You're looking good out there, enjoying yourself?
Yeah, it's been good so far.
Yeah, and you get into Speedway. How long has you been doing Speedway now? A couple of years?
Yeah, 2 seasons now, including this season.
Fantastic, and you were down at Bellevue and Ashfield, and obviously you race here as many Fridays as you can. What's your favourite track?
My favourite track has been Redcar and Bellevue in Glasgow.
Cool, and at Bellevue, you were on the podium at the end of the night, the 3 Scottish guys together. That must have felt really good.
Yeah, it did. So I got second at Bellevue, which is good. First British Youth of the season.
Brilliant, and you're here in a couple of weeks on your own track at Armadale. You fancy you'll be a good day that day?
Yeah, hopefully.
Cool, well thank you very much, Lewis, and I wish you all the luck for that match next week. I'm now here with Rocco Webb on a Saturday afternoon at Armadale. Are you enjoying your Saturday afternoons here?
Yeah, it's pretty fun over in the Minnedale.
Yeah, and how does that compare to riding the big track?
It's a lot different and more tight. There's a lot of different lines you need to take during the session because the track just gets ripped up throughout the session, so you need to figure out where you're going.
Yeah, there's quite a lot of you guys here now. It's good to see a thriving academy theme, and you've been going here a couple of years as well, yeah?
Yeah, I think this is my second year maybe, and yeah, it's good that they're bringing on different riders and getting people started up.
And you've been round the country already with the British Youth Championship down at Bellevue and Ashfield. Do you enjoy those?
Yeah, they're good. I like the big tracks as well because you get a lot of room on them and they're a lot faster, so yeah, it was enjoyable.
Cool, and you were on the podium as well, that was even better. Yeah. Fantastic day for you.
Yeah, it was really good to be on the podium. First time on the podium, and it was really good.
Brilliant, and you'll be here again in a couple of weeks for the Armadale round of the British Youth Championship. You fancy your chances that day?
Yeah, I think I've got a good chance since this is my home track, and yeah, bring it on.
Cool, it'll be great to see you guys and all going together, and we look forward to that. Thank you very much.
Since Edinburgh have had the mini track on the centre green there, actually sort of contacted John Campbell after the Bellevue and Glasgow round to say all credit to the Edinburgh club for their academy and everyone that works hard there. There's the Bellevue top 3 was all all lads from the Edinburgh Academy, being Rocco, Lewis, and Liam Morris as well.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately, Lewis couldn't make the Glasgow round, but both Liam and Rocco, were actually made the rostrum at Glasgow as well, and actually messaged John after that weekend to say, to give the Edinburgh guys all the credit for the work that they're doing. And there's obviously a number of riders coming through that academy now, which is fantastic for Scotland. The 250 class is always a great class, and again, the Edinburgh track is going to suit the 250 riders. Probably the favourite for that championship this year is William Carnes. He won the round at Glasgow in very impressive form. We got Caden Martin, who's another Scottish lad, again, that's had plenty of laps around the Armadale circuit, so he'll be out to impress, as will Steen Piper, of course. Son of Theo, another lad that's based in Scotland. So, there's going to be plenty of Scottish representatives there this weekend. And, with the 125 guys that we've already discussed, as I say, plenty of local interest. So it's going to be one for the, fans, hopefully, to turn out in their numbers and, give everyone a cheer. It's going to be a great afternoon's entertainment.
Yeah, thanks very much to Neil for taking the time to speak to us there and talking through all the classes there. The one we did miss was the 125 class. These are slightly more experienced in the support class, and there's we've got 10 of those guys ready to go as well, and another hotly contested competition, and who knows what we'll see. It's all part of a fantastic afternoon of racing on Saturday afternoon in all 5 classes, including the Women's Championship. Each rider will have four races as we go across the afternoon, with the top 4 of each classification reaching the grand final, and so the last 5 races of the evening, of the afternoon, will be the final, as those guys all go head to head to see who can pick up points in this round of the Youth Championship. We're really looking forward to that, as we said already. As we do here at Edinburgh Speedway, we give you can get your tickets for those events, both Friday night and Saturday's Youth Championship and Women's Championship, from the Edinburgh Monarchs website right now. And if you're not able to make it on Friday, get yourself on the stream, edinburghmonarchs.co.uk/EMTV. Available anywhere you can watch the future of British Speedway, and as we say, that inaugural British Women's Open Championship, which we're really looking forward to on Saturday afternoon. It's been a packed show tonight. Thank you very much to everybody that's stayed with us. You can, of course, watch it back again on YouTube. I'll probably split the event into 2, so you can watch the Youth Championship on its own on here. But just a reminder that Friday night is the Edinburgh Stellar Monarchs Academy against Oxford Chargers, 7:30 on Friday. Be there to see how the Academy get on against Oxford. And Saturday afternoon, the British Youth Championship, Round 3, Women's Open Championship, Round 1, 1:30 tapes up 44 races of speedway action featuring 39 riders. It's been fantastic. Thank you. I'm guessing someone heard the ice cream van there. Yeah. Ice cream van going past just now. So throat's doing well. But as a thank you for everybody for bearing with me right to the end, here's a wee treat from last year's British Youth Championship. And we had a tremendous race in the 125cc class. So let's watch that back now.
So your lineup for the 125 final: red, Steen Piper; blue, Oliver Bobbington; white, Archie Rolfe; and yellow, Cooper Russian.
Steen leads the way, and Cooper Rushton's got blocked out at the first corner. He's through into second. He's going for the big blast round the outside. Now he's on tail. It's a tremendous battle. Once again, Piper quick round that turn. Rushton having another go. Once again, Rushton on the outside line, but he's not. And he's switched to the inside and come through. Superb riding by Rushton. Piper comes back. There's a chance there for Piper on the inside, but he couldn't get through. Rushton glances over and he pulls clear into the final turn. What a race that was. Great win for Cooper Rushton.
Yeah, exceptional stuff there. Absolutely fantastic race, and young Cooper Rushton delighted with himself. He takes the win in the 125 class.
Yeah, fantastic from Cooper Rushton, an example of the sort of racing we should expect to see on Saturday afternoon in that youth championship. But I say thank you very much to everybody who's borne with me all the way through. We're nearly at an hour mark for the preview show. If you like this sort of content, it's not always this long. Promise you. Get yourself on YouTube, subscribe to that Monarchs YouTube channel, and you get notified of any of these events. We will be back on Friday night after the Academy match with the Friday Focus, and then again on Saturday afternoon. I think we still call it the Friday Focus, even though it says Saturday afternoon. But thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Neil Vatcher and Jody Scott for taking the time to speak to me earlier in the week. Massive thank you to Mickie Simpson for coming on the show earlier and talking about that Academy match. And finally, just a wee thanks to Gary Dixon and David McCallan at the Academy for providing all the information about the guys and let me go out and see them the other week. Thank you very much for that. And I'll bid you good night and see you all Friday.